looks like we're live. All right, let me move that over here. Let me move this over there. All right. And I got to see the chat. Chat's over there. Did I freeze? I look frozen. I look frozen. Okay, let me switch this up. Transition. Okay. All right. I'm not frozen anymore. Okay. Camera's working. All right. So while people are getting in here, while people are joining, let me share this on Twitter real quick. While people are populating the chat. Let's go to Twitter. Let's open up and share this on my social media. We're live. Post. And let's go back. All right. So while people are joining, I'm going to do a quick introduction. Sorry for starting this 25 minutes late. Lots of stuff been going on. Anyways. So for those of you new to the channel, my name is Mustafa. I am the solo game developer of Sabr Path. Not to be confused with Saber Interactive. This is Sabr Path. Make sure my color is good. I got a stain on my shirt. Oh, gotta get that done. Anyways, Sabr Path. I am the solo game developer. I have experience working within the game industry. I did some administrative work while I was at Treyarch for 3 years. I've done some QA work with a large studio that works on a indoor cycling game. So that experience was more like software development rather than game development. What is going on? Is someone scratching something outside my window? I hear some scratching outside. Anyways, so yeah, that experience was more like software development because the QA was part of the development pipeline rather than separate, which that's how it is in AAA industry. So on this channel, for those of you new to this channel, if this is your first time, I talk about things that or problems that I see within the game industry, within narrative and storytelling, things of that nature. And that's where I focus the discussions on. And if that's what you like to hear more about, if you want to hear my perspective, then this is the channel for you. If you feel like that I'm, what's it called, trend chasing, I mean, that's literally what everybody does on YouTube. Like, if you don't talk about what's trending, what are you surprised about on YouTube? Like, everybody has to talk about the trending thing, or it's one of two things. You have to either talk about what's trending, or you have to talk about something that's a high search term, which is usually evergreen content, like how to do something, how to fix something, how to do something specific, guides, tutorials. Those things are evergreen content. Otherwise, if it's not evergreen content and it's not a trending topic, no one's gonna watch the topic. That's basically how YouTube works. Don't be surprised. It just amazes me that we're in 2025 and people are surprised that people talk about trending topics on social media. Like, that's literally how you expand your audience. Anyways, I just got into a little rant for no reason. I apologize for that. I shouldn't have ranted. So today I have 4 topics. Let's go over here. Let's bring up my 4 topics. So first topic, talking about, I want to talk about the Smash JT Colin Moriarty debate. Whatever you want to call it, debate, I guess. And the ghost of Yotei sales, since that clumps in. That's why they even start talking to each other to begin with. So that's going to be the first topic. After that, talking about the Layoffs. What is that studio's name? Ubisoft's. So Ubisoft had a ton of layoffs, but is there a name for that studio? Let's see. Ubisoft subsidiary. But anyways, the basically the Star Wars Outlaws, they're having layoffs, and not only layoffs, but they have to focus on The Division. Okay, here's a link. Let me open that up. Ubisoft hit start. Massive Entertainment. Okay, that's the name of their studio. Hey, Servan Balahi, welcome to the stream. Glad to see you joining. And then after that, so just a quick recap. First topic will be Smash GT, Colin Moriarty / Ghost of Yotei. Second will be Massive Entertainment layoffs. Third will be Halo on PlayStation and everything that spawned from that, all the goofiness. That was wild. And then lastly will be Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Just talking about my opinion on that. I haven't played it, but like not the meta discussion on Vampire the Masquerade 2, not like a review or anything like that, because I haven't played it. I don't have any interest in playing it, but it's more of a meta discussion on like what my opinion on it. So with that said, let's get started. What was the first one? Smash JT. Let's get them on the screen real quick. Can I share screen? Right screen. Is my camera working on there? It looks like I froze on the main camera. So let's go ahead and switch. Transition. All right. So yeah, it's a disappointment for VTM2. Oh, Vampire the Masquerade 2. So anyways, yeah. All right. So we got switched over. So a lot of people are talking about this debate. I guess it was supposed to be a discussion at first, but it became a debate, and everyone, like very few people. I'm hearing very few people saying that Smash JT won the debate. Like very few people saying it was him. Like even people who support Smash JT, a lot of them are like, oh yeah, you got stomped. So basically, to recap what happened, for those of you who are unaware of the internet beef that happened with this, so Smash JT, let me see, is my cursor on the screen? Yes, it is. So Smash JT is talking about how Ghost of Yotei sales are bad, and that people are being disingenuous about it, and no one's being transparent about it. Like that's basically his thesis, that no one who actually has sales numbers is being transparent, and that the dots aren't connecting. And Colin over here, who is a veteran in the game industry, he used to work at IGN, I think for 15 years, at least 15 years. He worked there for a while, more than a decade. And after he left IGN, he left with Greg Miller and two other guys, and they founded Kind of Funny Games. And then after Colin made a joke about women, he got exiled from the game industry. His best friend Greg Miller like basically stabbed in the back, and he had to leave Kind of Funny Games, then he started his own thing. I think it's like Colin's Last Stand, and he's doing very successful with that, with Patreon supporters. I think he like I believe that he, as far as like a someone who was in video game media journalism and transitioning into solo, like he has the most profitable platform out of everybody. And other people have tried doing the same thing. I mean, I guess Giant Bomb was they were pretty big, but the thing is, it's not Giant Bomb's not like a solo thing. Giant Bomb was a group with Jeff Gerstmann, Ryan Davis, Brad Shoemaker, Vinny Caravella, and Drew Scanlon. And then, like, once they got bought back by whoever owns GameStop. I mean, I'm talking about all sorts of random stuff. Anyways, I'm not gonna I shouldn't get into that. Stay focused. So, anyways, Colin basically said, "Smash JT, you're disingenuous. You're either really disingenuous or you have no clue what you're talking about. I would like to talk to you to see which one is it." And I'm very surprised that Smash JT actually accepted the offer to go head to head so quickly. It was very quick too. I'll probably, I'll say it's probably naive of him to do that, to just quickly jump into this, because Colin I think he's a very smart guy. I don't follow him a lot, but I've listened to him enough to know that he's very intelligent. You can tell by how someone speaks where they land. Like if someone is actually smart, or if they fake being smart, or if they're just kind of average. You can kind of tell when you listen to somebody long enough. And I think Smash JT's like, he's an average guy. I don't think he's dumb. I think he's average. He's a hard worker. I think that's his strength. How he got where he's at is because he's a hard worker, and he's very transparent and tries not to be disingenuous. I think that's why he's gained a big following. And Colin, he's very smart from my perspective. And personally, I wouldn't go into a debate with Colin. I mean, if it was more of a discussion, I guess maybe it might have started off, it was supposed to start off as a discussion. If he wanted to ask questions to learn more about what my stance is and try to find a middle ground, I think that's probably where I would go, because there are certain people, their brains are built for debate, and other people, their brains are not built for debate. And a lot of debate comes down to finding gotchas, like throwing statistics, throwing facts, remembering people's names and dates and things that happened. And it's like, okay, what you said sounds impressive, but it doesn't prove against my point. Caroline was, I'm not sure who Caroline is, was talking in circles a lot in the debate. Oh, Colin. Okay, yeah, okay. Sorry. I guess that was a typo. Colin was talking in circles a lot in the debate as far as I watched. See, I didn't want to watch it because it's too long, and I'm too busy to just watch this. I've seen some of the clips, and some of the clips, at least one that Smash showed, it seems that Colin couldn't make up his mind on something. He was kind of talking at both ends of his mouth, but um, there are some clips that are going around where Smash JT doesn't have a good response or looks silly in response because of the fact that he wasn't ready for it. Like he didn't see it coming. I know he likes to use ChatGPT a lot to get his facts. And here's two things I wanted to mention. Let me go back to full screen. So let me switch over transition and then go back to camera transition. Okay. All right. So I think using LLMs like ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, whatever. I mean, I think using them as a resource to find specific resources, like if you use it as a tool to find resources, I think that's great. It helps you find specifically what you want. It works as a better search engine to find the articles as far as what you're looking for, and then you can go through those articles and come up with your own conclusion. And I think that's the smarter way to use AI, is to ask it to bring you the resources, look through it, and then conclude, does this look fishy? Do the things line up? Do all the dots connect? And then come up with your own conclusion. Because if you ask it to come up with a conclusion for you, it's not reliable. It's from my experience, it is incredibly unreliable, and I think that's a mistake that Smash JT does a lot. Is that he uses it as a source of coming up with his conclusions. Like he'll ask a question and then he'll come up with an answer. And if it's the answer he likes, he'll like use that as like, hey, look, ChatGPT agrees. And a lot of times, I mean, depending on how you word something, ChatGPT is going to like come up with an answer that agrees with you. So you got to press back. You have to ask it, like, where'd you get this from? Why'd you come with this conclusion? Or you didn't even consider this thing. And then it'll be so many times ChatGPT will be like, oh, good catch. Da, 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 da. And it like comes up with a follow-up, and it will come up with a brand new conclusion that's completely opposite to what it initially had. So not only do these LLMs, are they trained to try to please you, to try to come up with the answers that you want to hear, but also there's a bias towards what kind of conclusion they're going to come up with anyways. The bias that is of who programmed the LLM, as well as who's funding it. You ask about specific topics that, for example, topics I'm not allowed to talk about on YouTube. Otherwise, it will show a link to Wikipedia saying, if you want to learn more about this thing, click here. So, if you ask it, AI about those topics, it's going to, give you the bias that is programmed into those LLMs. Because the people who are funding these AI, they don't want you to, utilize AI to the fullest and come up with your own conclusion. They want you to end up leaning more towards what they want you to believe. But sorry, I should have brought that. Once I start sipping and I heard it, I should have brought my head away over here. Anyway, so I apologize for that. I'll not do that again. The other thing is, I think Smash JT could have utilized um, the AI, the Chat GPT, to prep him, because he, from what I understand, he went into this very quickly, like within the same day. He like immediately started talking to Colin. I would have done it on a different day, and I think what he should have done is, at the very least, had what's it called, a mock debate with ChatGPT. Like, tell ChatGPT, okay, you are Colin Moriarty. Here is some resources on him. Now we're going to debate on the sales data of what was it? Ghost of Yotei. Here is my point. How would Colin attack this point? And then, like, it can do some analysis, and then Smash JT could have been like, okay, what are ways to help back my point? What are ways to help make sure that my point is strong? Because I think he went into this completely unprepared, and that also led to him just completely getting stomped. Regardless of how it went, I mean, props on him for doing it. So just props on him for the fact that he agreed to do it. This will lead to him becoming better in the future, as far as understanding what are his strengths and weaknesses, and how to have these type of discussions in the future. But aside from that, I don't think the whole sales data, the Ghost of Yotei sales data, is even worth. It's not a hill worth dying on. That's my opinion, because it seems that both there's the two camps that are like, okay, Ghost of Yotei sales. Sorry, burping. There's those who are who are in support of Ghost of Yotei doing well, because of the fact that they want to own the chuds. Those people. It's a purely an ideological win for them. That, okay, if this game sells well, that means my ideology is superior. And then, because they are standing on that hill, the opposition takes the opposite stance of saying, okay, if this sells poorly, then that means my ideology wins. And I don't think that is a smart stance to even take, because whether a game sells well or not doesn't have to do with like the ideology. Like, the game selling well or selling poorly should not be a hill that I'm not gonna take a stance on it saying, okay, the game sold poorly, yay, or the game sold well, boo, like whatever. Personally, I would like for the game developers to not get laid off. I know a lot of people are hungry to see the game developers get laid off, because a small portion of them are vocally towards destroying like culture with like their ideology, like infecting, pushing and forcing their ideology onto entertainment. And I want to make it a point that it's not everybody who works on the game who's pushing for that. In fact, most people who work on the game have no say as to how the game turns out. Like, you have people who are literally working on the lighting. You have people whose job, like you have a team of people, their job is to work on the lighting in game, the lighting in cinematics, like etc. Like the person working on the lighting has nothing to do with whether the publisher is advertising that the game is authentic to feudal Japan and yet has a African samurai. Like those the people who are pushing for that, saying that this is authentic, and then also makes that character have multiple homosexual relationships has nothing to do with the people who are like working on the lighting, the person who's like creating 3D assets to make like a crate or whatever, the people who are working on the grass. Like there are hundreds of people. Wow, hold on. I will be right back. My kids are right outside my room, and it sounds like or it looks like that. I'm gonna hold on. Hold on. Let's switch transition. Position. All right. Okay. Looks like I'm back. All right. Yeah, kids. Hello, Mr. Poopy Pants. Yeah, kids are. I just told him not to do that outside my room, and I hear him right outside my room. Okay. Anyways, so the point being that when I talk about Ghost of Yotei, the things I've been talking about are the stuff that the red flags that have been very prominent with the what's the word, the display, how they've been displaying the game, such as like just making the character look unappealing, uninspiring. That is a huge red flag considering the patterns we've been seeing with video games the past at least 5 years. 10 years, we can probably say, but at least the past 5 years, we've been seeing these red flags in which if the game prominently has... Okay, someone's slamming doors. Hold on. I'll be right back. Transition back. All right, I'm back. Okay. So that was my baby. My like what was she now? She is almost 11 months. Sorry, I should do that away from the mic, or at least put the mic away from me like that. Anyways, yeah. So I focus on these red flags, such as intentionally unappealing characters. These characters are made by professional artists. They know what looks appealing and what doesn't, especially with their skill level. So if you look at Atsu's design, most of her design looks really good. Like the yellow and black is a very vibrant and eye-catching design. They didn't come up with that on accident. They know what they're doing. And then when they come up with the face, they're like, okay, let's go ahead and use this voice actress's face, like exact 1-to-1 with her face. Well, not even exact 1-to-1. They made her face look worse in the game than it does in real life. So it is inspired by her face in real life, but they made it look more aged up and less appealing looking. So when they do these things intentionally, those are red flags, because it's not standard. Like, people can claim that standard to use a voice actor's face in video games. This has actually been a very recent trend to use a voice actor's face in a video game. For the majority of video games, at least with that have voice acting and motion capturing, the majority of like the history of video games, the voice actor's face hasn't been matching the character. There's more of a focus on having the character look unique, because there is really no the benefit to having the face match the voice actor is actually very small, unless the voice actor is a well-known well-known actor. Then the voice actor's face is part of the marketing. For example, you have all those Call of Duty games in which you have the face of the actor be the villain of that game, and a lot of times it works. But the downside to that, the downside to its, the upside is that it draws in the audience. But the downside is, once that actor does something goofy, then it ruins it can hurt the sales of the game. For example, since I mentioned Call of Duty, Kevin Spacey was in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and most of us know Kevin Spacey. He was touching people, and Hollywood has basically exiled him. So it's a huge risk to tie your game with the face of the voice actor. There can be reward if the voice actor is a big enough draw, but it's also a huge risk, because we know all these actors, they're all freaks. They all do freaky things, and it's just a matter of time once their freaky thing comes out in public. So it's like, do you want to risk the reputation of your game by putting the face of your voice actor as the literal face of the main character? And I think that is the more important discussion to have when it comes to games like Ghost of Yotei. That's what I've been focusing on my channel when I talk about Ghost of Yotei. When it comes to sales, like whether it sells well or not, I think that is not the main point. I feel like you're losing the point once you shift focus to did this game sell well or not. Then you're losing the point. It becomes more of a like whose team is winning type of thing. Okay, Johnny Silverhand from Cyberpunk, Keanu Reeves. Yeah, it worked really well with him. the thing is, like, if at any point Keanu Reeves, it comes out that he's a creeper, then, like, it falls apart. Like, it will backfire as soon as, like, anything comes out on him, and that's a huge risk. Yeah, remember, trying to keep in mind, keep the mic away when I take a sip. I don't want there to be like, I don't want that sound to be, even though I just did it. I'm a big goofball. Whoops. Anyways, so yeah, that's my point with when it comes to this whole, Smash JT, Colin Moriarty thing. I mean, props on Smash JT for going into this so quickly, and hopefully he ends up becoming better at what he does. Personally, I mean, like I said, I think Colin is a very smart guy. I would not try to debate him, because even if I know I'm right, debating is less about who's right, and it's more about how you present stuff. And that's nothing wrong with sipping coffee. Well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with sipping coffee, but I don't want to make the live stream unpleasant. Well, yeah, so that's my main point. Like, I wouldn't debate him, because debating is like it's a skill you have to build, and I don't debate people. Like that, I don't have an interest in debating people, and even if I know I'm right, people who are like dead set to debate. Like, especially like in my videos that I made recently about the Islamic representation of Islamic characters, there are so many people who are like wanting to debate me about Islam rather than like what I actually said in the video. They want to debate me about, like, oh, prove this is correct about Islam and this hadith and this. It's like, what? Why are you bringing this why are you even bringing this up? Did I even quote the hadith? Get that out of my face. Stop trying to build a straw man argument with me. And that's the thing. Like, yeah, debate is a show for people like debate. Yeah, I don't want to, like, I don't care. I don't care to do it. And anyways, I'm just repeating myself at this point. So let's go to the next topic. The next topic, where is my list of discussions? So the first one. All right, so let's talk about Ubisoft. Ubi hard? No, Ubisoft. Some people are like, oh, you pronounce Ubisoft wrong. Well, like, you know what? Ubisoft has a video of different people. Like, it's on their own channel. They have their own video on their own YouTube channel of, like, different executives and different developers, and all of them are told to pronounce the name, and most of them are saying Ubisoft, and some of them are saying Ubisoft, and some of them are saying both. They're like, well, if it's in France, I'll say Ubisoft, and if it's anywhere else in the world, I'll say Ubisoft. So, Ubi semi-solid. That's nice. But oh yeah, Ubisoft vomit, yes. Like, before I get into the next thing, I want to give a quick update to stuff. So let me get this on the screen real quick. So first of all, I did get a new job. I'm starting on Saturday or Sunday. I didn't check the email, but I'm starting this weekend. So because I am starting this new job, I don't know what my schedule is like. Also, the schedule is different week to week. So I don't know what I'm doing yet with these live streams. I might keep them on Wednesday, and maybe I'll shift it to a different part of the day. I'm not too sure what things are going to look like, but definitely for the next 2 months, because this job is seasonal. It's until the end of December. But anyways, due to that, the live stream is likely going to change as far as when I do it. Other than that, so let's get a couple of things on screen. So, well, let's do this on a private window. Amazon. Continue. Fitness. Why do I not see it? Always up. Okay, let's go to books. Let's go there. There we go. All right, so that's one. And then the other is over here. Okay. All right. So let's start sharing screen. Mabruk on the new job. Oh, thank you, Mr. Poopy Pants. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a blessing that I was able to find something so quick, considering my last job ended. Now it's been like a week and a half ago. So, it's definitely a blessing that I was. It's not an ideal job, but a job is better than no job. Any job is better than no job, and it's definitely better than DoorDash. I tried doing DoorDash, and it's such a waste of time because I'm fighting against traffic, and sometimes I get to the restaurant and they don't have the food ready for me, and that's literally wasting my time. And then aside from that, like there's the time in between a delivery. When I end a delivery, sometimes I might not immediately get another delivery to do. And even though it'll say, oh, you made $20 an hour or $17 an hour, I calculate the actual time that I put into the, how much money I make and how much time I'm actually spending, and it ends up being like less than $12 an hour. It's like, well, plus I have to pay for gas. So DoorDash, not doing that again. That's a waste of my time. Let's go over here. Transition. Oh, let's go back up. Go back. Where'd it go? There we go. Why is it? That's weird. Okay. All right. Let me. For some reason, this is not showing. I guess I'll do it not in. Or let me do this on a different browser. Looks like there's an issue. Go there, continue. There we go. All right, different browser. So let me transition to this scene. So if you're seeing Poopy Pants, where is Captain Underpants? Well, I don't want to read his name out loud because I just don't cuss, so I don't want to read his. I say Poopy Pants. But anyways, so this this book, Level Yourself Up, it is. I wrote this book. I published it back. Let's see where it should be 2021, I think. There it is. Yeah, 2021. So I didn't use ChatGPT to write this book. I actually wrote this book. I had people proofread the book. I didn't use AI to make this. This is a real book that I made. It is currently 99 cents US dollars. And until Friday, I think Friday it resets back to the regular price, which is $3. But check it out if you need some help, motivation getting yourself more active. I talk about, so in this book, there's basically three sections. The first section is a motivation section where I talk about my story with my back injury and how I ended up changing my mindset, leaving like a victim mindset and also embracing a growth mindset to get myself motivated to work out. Then the second section is about weight loss, just basic stuff about losing weight. You need to have a caloric deficit. You need to intake less calories than you are burning in a day. And also just listen off ways to just eat healthier, ways to reduce the amount of calories. And then the last section, the fitness section, is I give a list of ways to work out at home without having a gym membership. Some of the workouts need some cheap equipment, like having something for your bicep curls or rows, because your pull muscles. It's really difficult to work out your pull muscles without equipment. So I list off some cheap ways to work out your pull muscles. But most of the workouts there are body weight workouts that I mentioned. And I want people to, especially men, to be active and be strong. So check out the book, 99 cents. The paperback, I can't really... It was, I don't know why, but it was on sale at one point for like $5. I think Amazon was just trying to get rid of their stock because it wasn't selling well enough. So they're like, okay, we got a bunch of these printed out. We want to get rid of them. And so they slashed it to like $5 at one point without my permission. But I don't really have a way to make this on sale. But if you get either version, please leave a review. I'd really appreciate it. It's one of the single most helpful things that can help me out. What we talk about here, I've been a delivery driver for about 30 years. It gets to you after a while. I now take red lights as a personal. Yeah. I mean, I get road rage, so I'm not going to do that. DoorDash again. Beta readers and development editors give you better feedback than AI, but AI is awesome for researching physics before writing a scene. Yeah, AI. I mean, I've used AI a lot these past couple years, and it's definitely there's definitely strengths and weaknesses when it comes to AI. And then where's the other thing? There it is. All right. So this one wasn't working, but all right. So I did a very minor update to Nexus Defender. It's not on sale, but I just want to mention that I did a very minor update. Here it is down here. So I had to update the game because Unity had a security vulnerability from like all their versions of Unity all the way back, dating back to like 2017. So anybody who had a Unity game has to download an updated version of Unity, compile a new build, and then update it on Steam. And so a lot of games end up having like a very small update on their game because of the vulnerability. I figured, okay, since I'm going to update it, I want to just do one more really quick update on the game. I haven't the game's done, but I figure I'd do one more update because in the past. Let's see, go back to the previous updates. So in the past, I did this graphics update. So full disclosure, yes, I use AI to make the artwork. So I'm not gonna pretend I drew these. Yes, I used AI. So these are the characters in the game. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to update this so that at least it's a uniform style. They all are the same art style, so it looks more cohesive. And so this was the update. Each of these characters. This is the old. They all varying different styles. They all look very different. And then this is the new, more uniform, a more cohesive style. But I didn't like how these two characters ended up looking like. This version is just more menacing looking, and this version, like his face is lacking detail compared to this. So I just didn't really like these updates. So I decided to update one more time and made this version of Deathbringer, which actually I feel like looks much closer to this version. Like his face looks more similar, and he looks more menacing. And same with the Ironborn. His face looks more detailed. And also their face has more expression now. Like he's very angry looking. He's very confident and cocky looking. I put some screenshots over here. Where is it? So yeah, and also updated his background too. So I wanted to like tell more of a story with his background. So it's okay. I gave him a sword to make him appear more like he does stuff physically. He's not just a commander. He will do stuff physically. So I gave him a sword. Some creature's head in the background. Like maybe he killed it. Maybe he's the one who did that. And also I put his ship in the background. So this is the same ship that is actually the in-game model, but I textured it with AI to make it look better looking, and then I planted it back there. I placed it back there. So that way, I'm telling more of a visual story. I talk about these things a lot on the channel, so I figured, okay, if I'm going to update these images, I might as well do what I talk about and actually put an effort into the visual storytelling. So there's environmental storytelling with this skull back here. His ship is back there. He has a sword behind him. Gave him more of a cocky expression to give the player an idea of who he is. And same with Deathbringer over here. So I already had his tank. This is the same tank that is in the in-game. Let me close this out. So in-game, yeah, right there. There's his tank. So as you can see, the tank has a skull. It has 2 barrels. So I made sure that looks similar. There's the 2 barrels. There's the skull. So I made sure it looked like him. But that was I already had that there. But I just wanted him to look more menacing. Just so there's more storytelling with the character. So anyways, just wanted to mention I did that quick update. Amazon once jacked my book prices up over $30 once. Whoa! And I couldn't change it. I don't know why they did it, but thankfully they fixed it after a couple weeks. Amazon's weird stuff. Now I have the AI show your characters in the style of Studio Ghibli. That was a hot trend for 15 minutes. I understand when people say like, "Oh, AI slop," but the thing is, yes, I understand when people just put in one prompt and then they use that for whatever. It's more forgivable when it's a meme. Memes, it's like, okay, it's just a dumb response to a comment. Okay, that's fine. But like when you're using it for a commercial product, my characters, I don't just do one prompt and then take the first thing. As you can see, like I've kept the core designs of the characters consistent. Going from like the old to the new, like making sure he has the scarf, He still has this black suit. He has the circular power core on his chest. So, like overall, I kept his design consistent. So I had to do a lot of editing to keep that consistency because Midjourney is not very good at that. Even though there is a feature for like keeping a character, when you do that, it like changes the character completely anyways. Like their face is completely different, especially with 2D art. It's really good for what's it called? Well, I mean, it's all 2D art. It's really good for photographic looking realistic styles, but it's very bad for 2D illustrated art styles. So at least I try to go through a lot of iterations and editing. The reason why I use the AI is because the results I get with that are much cleaner than if I were to draw it by hand. And they're like, oh, why don't you spend money on an artist? If I spent money on an artist, the amount of money I made from this game would not pay for an artist. Like, I'm not rich. Don't act like I'm rich. People always say, why don't you spend money on an artist? Because artists are expensive. Like I made more money than this, but even if I spent that money, like that would put me that's negative. I am still in the negative as far as like how much time I put in the game. Like this game's not a moneymaker. That's my point. Anyways, let's get to I spent a lot of time talking about that. Let's get to the article. Okay, I talked about that. Let's go back over here. Ubisoft. All right, so Star Wars Outlaws. Artists are yes, they are, and I totally believe in paying for artists, and that is one of so. Whenever I get to the point where Sabr Path is making money, there are 4 positions I want to fill. One is an artist for the games. I'd like to pay for an artist. 2 is a programmer, because I'm not much of a programmer. I'd like for a programmer to join the team. 3 is a video editor, because video editing takes a lot of time. And also 4 would be like someone to like manage the social media. Like those are like the four main roles I would like to get filled ASAP. But first I need to get to the point where I'm even paying myself. Right now I'm not even paying myself. I'm in the negative. So let's talk about this. So is this like their official statement that they got? Okay, as part of our ongoing evolution and long-term planning, we have recently realigned our teams and resources to strengthen our roadmap, ensuring our continued focus on the Division franchise and technologies, including Snowdrop and Ubisoft Connect that power our games. To support the transition responsibly, this is a little blurry. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And let's make this a little bit bigger. No, it's not working. Okay. All right. Whatever. All right. We introduce a voluntary career transition program, giving eligible team members the opportunity to take the next career step on their own terms. Supported by a comprehensive package that includes financial and career assistance. Okay. Massive Entertainment remains fully committed to our roadmap to creating great experiences for players around the world, including Division 2, Division 2 Survivors, Division Resurgence, Division 3. These projects continue with strength, focus, ambition, and we look forward to sharing more in the future. So the Division was very profitable for them, and obviously Star Wars Outlaws was not. That's why, even though they were saying that it was a despite them saying that it was a success, clearly it's not a success. People saw through it. They saw that it's just another open world Ubisoft mess, uses the same open world formula, and aside from that, like what I've talked about on the channel before is that the character is they took Han Solo and turned him into a cat lady because her alien companion is a stand-in for a cat. So they literally just made her into a cat lady, or they made Han Solo into a cat lady without having like him being Han Solo. They dropped what people like about Han Solo and replaced it with a cat lady. Now, so I'm not saying this as a Star Wars fan who's upset, because personally, I'm going to say something controversial here. I didn't care about the first three movies, the actual first three movies. Episodes 4, 5, 6, and that the reason being, I watched them at a bad age. I watched them when I was an angsty teenager, and in high school, everything needed to be edgy, everything needed to be hardcore and cool for me. And when I watched them, I was like, this is lame. And I don't know, it just kind of, I never gave it another chance after that. After that, I just never came back around to watch it over again. Maybe I'd get a different opinion if I watch it at this point. But at the point in my life when I watched it in high school, most of my friends watched it as a kid, and my dad was against that stuff, so I didn't watch it. Yeah, exactly. I was into The Crow back in high school. Yeah, I was totally into The Crow. I thought The Crow was so cool. So when I watched the original trilogy, and every scene with Han Solo, to me, teenager me, it came across as a dad trying to come off as cool. So it came off as super lame to me, and I did not like Han Solo at all because he came off as a super lame old man trying to act cool. that is why. Yeah, Spawn. Also Spawn. Yeah, I read Spawn, even though the comic was dumb. I read Spawn. I liked The Crow. I like the Punisher. That's the type of stuff I was into when I was a teenager. So I'm not saying this as a Star Wars fan, but as a designer, as a game designer, as someone whose passion is to make products for an audience, to make entertainment for an audience, I look at this through a designer's lens, through an analytical lens, and I say, okay, this is why people like Han Solo. They like him because he's rebellious. They like him because he's witty. He's fast on his feet. There are certain things that people like about Han Solo. And when fans of Star Wars see that they take a character or they basically make a brand new character who looks like this new character should be Han Solo, like it has the same role as Han Solo but doesn't have the same personality and is a cat lady instead, then you're gonna upset the audience. That's basically the lens that I'm looking through right now. Edgy and hardcore was pretty much the theme of the night. Yeah, I mean, I was a teenager. This was late '90s, early 2000s was one. So the early 2000s was when I was in high school, and that's when I watched Star Wars, and it wasn't edgy enough for me. And context is important. It's important to watch. If you're watching If you're watching a something that's meant for kids or all audiences, which that's what Star Wars is. Star Wars is meant for no matter what, even though like the most hardcore Star Wars fans are now like 40, 50 years old, 60 years old maybe. Star Wars was a kids movie. Well, it was a family movie. It was meant for all ages. It was meant for kids and their parents. And I watched it as an edgy teenager, and that was a mistake. So at least I'll admit that the reason why I don't like it is because I watched it at the wrong age with the wrong mindset. But I'll also concede to, okay, these are the things that people like about Star Wars. Star Trek was it to me. I tried watching so Star Trek, The Next Generation. I really wanted to keep watching that, but anytime it was on TV, my dad was home and he didn't let us watch that stuff. So whenever I did watch it, it would be like part of an episode rather than the whole episode, and I don't know who was who anyways. I just know that there was LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow. Edgy stuff is the male spice of interest. All right, let's go to the next. Let me criminal only transition. All right, so let me see what's the next thing on the list. So the next thing I think is, all right. So we got the layoffs. Okay, all right. Halo. Let's get Halo on the screen. All right. Let me make sure. Okay, so the first thing. Okay, let's put that back on screen. Scene, transition. Oh, let me read the chat real quick. Okay, so yes, I read the Star Trek one already. I think the 2 series are amazing. The movies didn't much care much. So let's see. What do I like? So as far as Star Trek, I watched the reboot movie and I really liked that. Hold on. Give me 1 minute. My wife's knocking on the door. Let me close this. Transition. Back. Okay, yes. Yeah, I did watch the Star Trek reboot, and I really liked that. But I didn't watch any of the other Star Trek. Only the first movie of the reboot. Man, I don't know. That's gonna lead me towards a tangent and get off topic. I'm not trying to derail the conversation, but this say Samus. It must be said that Samus would wreck Master Chief. Probably. I think Samus is more powerful. Like, has a more powerful. So at least when fully upgraded. Master Chief is huge though. He's like 7 feet tall. He's basically like if Captain America was gigantic. Like that's what Master Chief. Yeah, Master Chief is basically Captain America but taller. What about Halo? What were you saying? Okay, yeah. So I'm getting this on screen. Let's put this on screen. Transition. Is this working? Camera's working. All right, yeah. So, all right, Halo. Halo is now going to be on PlayStation. The Halo campaign evolved. Or at least it is. I think it's already on PlayStation. But anyways, so they say going forward, Halo is going to be on all platforms. So in a response to this, GameStop put out this. I think that made it smaller. Is there a way to make this full screen? Okay, open in new tab. Yeah, there we go. All right. So GameStop is like, yeah, the console wars are dead. And yeah, it appears that way as far as like PlayStation and Xbox. There's basically no exclusives at this point, because even though PlayStation, so I think some of their games are showing up on, is what game was it? Helldivers? Is Helldivers coming to Xbox? Or did it come to Helldivers to Xbox? Yeah, Helldivers 2 is on Xbox. Snake would head choke Samus easily. I don't think so, man. I think Snake would have a tough time choking somebody who's wearing an exo armor. I mean, as much as I love Snake. Yeah, console was. Yeah, Nintendo's the only one. So Nintendo, like they're playing 5D chess while everyone else is playing Connect 4, because Nintendo are releasing games that cost them like $200,000 to develop, and making millions, if not billions, of dollars off of them, and never lowering the price, while Xbox and PlayStation are struggling to figure out what they're doing, because they're basically like there's no exclusives for their consoles at this point. PlayStation started putting their games on PC, and now they're putting them on Xbox as well. Same with Microsoft. I predict that Microsoft is going to they're trying to completely focus on Game Pass being a platform rather than Xbox. So whether they drop Xbox altogether and focus on Game Pass, or if they rebrand it to being called something like Xbox Game Pass, something like that, I personally see that as what Microsoft's going to do, because they're really focusing hard on pushing Game Pass as a thing. They're losing lots of money trying to make it a thing. I feel an air bubble in my chest, like I have to burp, but it's not coming out. Sorry about that. So let me move. Let me go back to full camera. Camera only, transition. So yeah. The point is that I think Xbox is really going to focus on just using their digital platform, Game Pass, to become their platform, because they've been struggling with hardware, like basically since the beginning. Like they were doing well with Xbox 360 because they were significantly cheaper than PlayStation 3. So they came out earlier. They released the Xbox 360 earlier than PS3. I think by at least a year, maybe 2 years. But they came out significantly earlier. They were cheaper. Had a better online, even though theirs cost money. The online was better than PlayStation's, and the competitive games were just better. Like Halo 3 was better than Killzone, as far as playing it online. Drink soda. So sorry. Let me get back to the. Okay, so we got okay, Samus is 6'3". Is she really? Superhuman without use of power suit. Snake, top tier for his level, but they operate on 2 different tiers. I did not know Samus was that tall. Kazuma from Yakuza will Tiger Drop both Master Chief. I will say only reason to buy PS5 was Demon Souls remake. I don't want to sound elitist though. I really think that. Xbox 360 was the only Xbox I bought, and I think X360 was better than PlayStation 3 in that era. Yeah, a lot of people felt that way. But it's the only era I think. I agree. I completely agree with that. So aside from that one generation, Microsoft has been struggling with hardware. I don't think they definitely lost after that. After the 360, and it was amazing that they were still able to do so well with 360 despite the Red Ring of Death. That just shows how poorly PS3 was doing. Killzone is better game in my opinion. Okay, maybe because I'm Sony pony, but Killzone is more cool. My opinion on Killzone, I think. What's that guy's name? What's the Killzone bad guy? It starts with a V. Scholar Visari. Yeah, he was a cool character. Scholar Visari was a really cool character. And like, basically he was, space, HITLER. Unfortunately, I have to spell it out, but yeah, that like he was that. But like, when they have him doing those speeches, man, that is like, it's a character with charisma. And that made him a really cool villain, much better than Malcolm McDowell's character in Killzone 3. Like, it's like, okay, it's Malcolm McDowell, but he wasn't a good replacement. Scholar Visari was really cool, and I feel like Sony had something like the foundation for something really cool with Killzone, but they didn't really take full advantage of it. Let's see. So what else was I talking about with this? Okay, so all right. So on top of all this stuff, let me go back to, let's close this out. Let's go to the right tab before I switch over. All right, so let me close this out first, and then I'll switch over. Transition. If anyone want, I'm always open to taking super chats, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. It's never required. Just want to say that out loud to do the calls to action, but I'll still interact with the chat regardless. You get the audience is not overwhelming enough that I can't go through the chat at the moment. So seems that Homeland Security destroy the flood, join ICE now, and this is a hot topic. Some people are they got very triggered by this. They're calling illegal immigrants the flood, which oh wow, yeah. I got Wrangler. Blaze it up with 420. Sorry, let me put that on screen again. I couldn't read what it said. Let's do that again. Okay. Is there did it come with a chat? I don't see a chat with it. I just see the 420. But anyways, I appreciate Wrangler. Appreciate it. 420, blaze it up. I don't smoke. Oh, wow. Thanks, Mr. Poopy Pants. I appreciate it. That's huge, and I really appreciate both you guys, both Wrangler and Mr. Poopy Pants. Sorry, I'm not saying your name, Mr. Poopy Pants, because I'm not one who cusses, but I still appreciate the. Let me give that a like. Can I give that a like? Give both those like, and it doesn't seem like I'm giving either of them a like, but. Speaking of which, if you like the video, that really helps with the algorithm once the video goes live. But anyways, back to the topic. Let's go bigger. Why is it? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, so it's I think for them to, I mean, first of all, like, it's kind of silly that the government's using a video game to promote a video game that's not theirs to promote recruitment, but people got offended that they're calling illegal immigrants the flood, comparing basically space zombies to or actual people to space zombies. I said you can call me Mr. Pants. Okay, sorry about that, Mr. Pants. I appreciate that. Sorry. Don't know, notification doesn't have sound. Let me see, dude. Let me put this on so I can hear if there's a sound. Okay, I heard a sound. My name is your name is Speedrunner name. Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Pants, for thanks again for the super chat. But back to the topic. So not only did that happen, well, I mean, aside from that, what else? There was this that the White House put out. So a ton of people were really happy about this. And it goes back to the whole, like, oh, it's because it's my team. I mean, for those of you who've watched my stream so far, I'm sure most of you know that I don't care. I don't like either of them. I think that they're both on the same team. When it was the Democrats in office, they didn't want the list, Jeffrey's list, to be revealed, and now the Republicans wanted it to be revealed. And now when it's the other way around, the Republicans are in office, they don't want the list to be revealed, and the Democrats do, because it's pro wrestling. They're both the same team. Neither of them actually want the list to be revealed because they know they're both on the list. So I think this is just as lame as the whole the Kamala Harris. I think it was called Freedom Land. In Fortnite, they made Freedom Land for her. So I think this is the same level as lame. But people got really upset about this. I don't think it's worth getting upset over. I can't believe the White House posted this armor. I mean, the fact that this is like the official White House, I think it's like, come on, this is the world we live in now is more focused on memes. Like, the government is more focused on memes, and that is just, to me, the uniparty. That's what I believe in. But so we see, going back to this, so we got like Angry Joe over here, who so I never met Angry Joe, but I was very close to him at one, not close to him as relationship wise, but close to him, like we were both in E3 and I saw him. He had a tripod for a camera. He had a tripod slung over one shoulder and he was holding a camera and it looked like he was rushing to get somewhere. And I saw him and I was like, oh, that's Angry Joe. He looks very angry. And that was I think he was still wearing his Superman shirt and jacket, but I did see him at E3 once. Two sides of the same coin. Two sides of the same coin. Two wings of the same bird. That's how I feel. I think regardless, Kamala Harris doing a video game thing is stupid. Um, uh, what's his name? Donald Trump. This, when I saw this, it reminded me of the first thing that came to my mind is when he did those NFTs, and like it was like NFTs of him being like he had one where his head was pasted onto like a superhero body. Like this is what this made me think of. It's I think it's lame regardless, but Joe got extremely upset about this, and I think Endymion was also one who like was pushing his buttons. I don't know if that's in this, but they're like going back. Oh, that meme is so hideous. This fat JD Vance. He's gonna be the next president. I'm very certain of it. I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying he's very much like they are setting him up to be the next president. Like he is very good at responding to questions. And I'm very certain they're training him. Like they're training him to like have these fast responses. Making sure that he stays in shape. Because if I saw pictures of him like previously, he used to be more overweight. So like they're making sure that he looks physically good. He speaks really well. Basically, so he can be like, so he has the visuals and the presentation to be the next president. And again, I'm not saying that's a good thing for him to be president. I'm not saying whatever. I'm just saying he's definitely being set up to be the next president. Wasn't FT a picture of Trump with Super Saiyan effect or something like that? Let me see if I can. Let me pull that up on screen. Donald Trump NFT. CollectTrumpCards.com. Let me look at Google Images. Not Google Maps, Google Images. Let's open Images, Google Donald Trump NFT. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, so let me open this in a new tab and open that in a new tab. So look, okay, yeah, I'll just bring this whole thing over here. So yeah, this is the one I was like he's dressed as a superhero. These are some other NFTs where he has like a lightning bolt in his hand and he's like Iron Man. Like these are just bad. These are terrible. And that's what the whole like him and Master Chief reminded me of. Close that. Thoughts on Mamdani and Cuomo? My thoughts. So the one thing I like about Mamdani is that he supports the freedom of GAZA. That's the one thing I like about him. Other than that, I think what they're doing is intentionally setting him up to be the next governor by doing these xenophobic and Islamophobic campaigns. Because rather than them attacking his politics, they are going after him in a deliberately bigoted way, so that they are deliberately causing a divide between the people. And I think that is all intentional. That's my thoughts. I think it's intentional that the Democratic Party wants there to be a divide as far as people fighting over these bigoted tactics. That's my thoughts. So getting back to this, yeah. So I don't really have too much else on this to talk about the Halo and the White House. I think it's goofy. I think people are getting too upset about it, but I also think at the same time, this stuff is dumb. Anyways, let's move on to, let's go to camera only. All right, so I'm gonna do this for maybe like another 10 more minutes. So let's transition. Yeah, 10, 15 more minutes. Close that, close that, close that, close that. All right. The last thing. Paradox Interactive. Let me see. Is this the right one? Let me find the article real quick. Paradox Interactive, Vampire, Masquerade, Bloodlines 2, official response. I never knew I'd be in American politics, and I'm not American on a gaming feed. Me, American politics. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, politics has become so so first of all, the American, what's the word I'm looking for? Not yeah, American culture. American culture is very influential around the world, and because that they pushed politics, especially social politics, to be such a big thing, that's why the rest of the world is being affected, because American culture affects the rest of the world due to like how in your face America is to the rest of the world. And my theory is that this all stemmed from 2011's Occupy Wall Street. So in 2011, like everybody was in support of Occupy Wall Street. Like, okay, these are the people who are ruining the world, the 1%. These are the people who are making it hard on everybody else. And after that, in 2012, the United States legalized propaganda. And starting in 2012, that's when things started going more, social politics, and started pushing on dividing the people to have us fight each other rather than fight the 1% who are controlling the world. Political pundits have become rabid sports fans. My team. Yeah, and I think that's a huge problem. Is that the thing is, the thing that kills me is that some people who are aware that the people at the top, the small percentage, the 1% of the 1%, who are like being the puppet masters. And then some of these commentators are aware of this, but then they'll still say, "Gotta support Republicans." Like, that's just, within the same breath you know that that they're colluding together, but then you're acting like they're different. Anyways, I don't know. Let's get back to Vampire. So I'm trying to find this. Where is it? Anyways, hold on. So let me get back to the chat real quick. So yeah, okay. American culture now takes 5 years to reach Contagion and Contagion Europe. 10 years ago, it took 15 for American culture to come here. It's the internet effect. Yeah, I agree. It's why we love America. It's bold. It all started in 2012. The Mayans were right. The end of the world. Okay, yeah. I love America too. It's the most unhinged country. I mean, like, one thing I want to make clear is that okay, some people will be like, "Oh, you're being un-American," and the thing is, like, every single government has its flaws. There is no country that has a good government, or at least no stable first world country that's you know the government is being completely fair and honest. They're all doing something to take advantage of people. They're all lying. And so, no matter which country I live in, there's always going to be something negative to say. And people might say, "Oh, then why are you complaining?" Well, if you don't speak up about the problem, then the problem will continue regardless. The problem will get stronger if you don't speak up. The very least I can do is speak up against the problem. And I think that's important. Like some people don't understand that. "Oh, why are you complaining?" Well, what else am I supposed to do? Like, look at over here. Let's scene. Transition. Okay. All right. So, Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2. So this is not a game I'm interested in playing, or like I'm not a fan of Vampire the Masquerade. It's not for me. I'm no longer an edgy teenager who's into that stuff anymore. And also, it looks like the original looks too sexualized for me to be interested in playing it, anyways. But this new one, so basically, Paradox Interactive, they got like the Chinese Room. That's the name of the studio to make the sequel. And it's a complete letdown, not only gameplay wise. Let me get this wild video. Let me get this insane video. Where is it? Okay, let me bring up YouTube. So this is only like the tip of the iceberg. Okay, let me go switch accounts, go there. Like the dialogue in this is insane. Okay, go to history. Like there's this character, Tali. Like this guy, like everyone's using Tali as the meme. Okay, why can I not see it here? Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah. I think I left it. No, I did not leave a link. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh. Yeah, that's in the game. Okay, well, this is not the right video though. Where is it? Hold on, 1 second. Let me go back here. Let's switch over to camera only, transition. Okay, so I put it over here. I know if I go over here. Oh, uh-oh. Got some Quran playing. Uh-oh, I'm going to convert somebody. Okay, here it is. I never brought it over to this right window. Okay, so here it is. Or, yeah, now it's on the right screen. So let's go back here. Scene, transition. Put myself on here. Let's start over. Okay, that's a bit graphic, but that yeah, this is the type of this is the type of red flags we're talking about when we see characters that look like this, who speak like this, who have this type of dialogue, and then the game ends up being a mess. So I mean, this is not why the game is bad. This is definitely one of the red flags I keep talking about on this channel. And the game itself, so as far as the reviews I've seen, first of all, it's buggy. It has some game-breaking glitches. There's the combat is really weird. Like you don't actually pick up guns. Like you use telepathy to pick up a gun. Like the hand just does this, and then the gun just floats. And then when you shoot, you unload the entire magazine. You can't just do one shot. But other than that, it's basically just melee combat. The game has no inventory. It's not an RPG. It's like an action adventure game instead. Very story heavy action adventure game. But this is like some of the red flags I'm talking about on this channel. Is like when we see like a character like that, and you get a broken game. But so Paradox is saying, yeah, we're not going to do if Bloodlines 2 is successful enough, like basically to paraphrase this. In fact, they say it is not our strategic direction to make this kind of game. So if Bloodline 2, God willing, is successful, Bloodline 3 will be done by someone else on the license from us. I would say it's the sort of strategic way this would work. So the fact that they say God willing, inshallah, this sells well enough. They clearly have no they have no confidence that this will sell well enough. Like they're saying it's going to have to take the will of God for this to sell well. And if it does, then they will license out Bloodlines 3 to somebody else. And this is a problem with the industry as far as misusing IPs. Let me see. I got some chat. Let me scroll up. Oh, there's a lot of chat. Let me scroll up a little bit. Okay, I already read that. I read that. Okay. I saw Arch playing that abomination called Vampire. Okay, it's painful to see to play. I love the first game. Played as Venture. The boss battle was a lot of people they meant like it seems to be a cult, like the cult fan base. Like it's not extremely popular. It's not a hugely popular game, but the people who are fans of it are big fans of it. Like as a cult following. Bloodlines 2 just released. They're making another. No, it's not that they're making another. It's just the game is so broken that they're hoping they can switch directions because they already see that they messed up. Bloodlines 2 was one of the biggest disappointments after Duke Nukem Forever. Yeah, I see a lot of people comparing this to Duke Nukem Forever because this game was in development for years and it's a mess. All the vampire stuff out there has got nothing on Castlevania or the Lost Boys. I'm not too familiar with the Lost Boys, but yeah, I'm all about Castlevania. I played a bunch of it on Game Boy Advance, and my favorites are the Game Boy Advance and DS games. I didn't play Order of Ecclesia though. I would like to play that. I think the Game Boy Advance game, the DS games I think those are better than Symphony of the Night. Some people swear by Symphony of the Night, and it's a good game. It's a really good game. But just because it was the first to have that formula out of the Castlevania games, I don't think that means it's the best. Let's see. Don't forget Legacy of Kain series. I liked Legacy of Kain. Tali needs to sound like a proper Nosferatu, not everyday commer from California. I mean, it's so insane that the character even exists. I mean, first of all, like when I saw people post the pictures of Tali, I'm like, this character looks hideous. But then once I saw a video with the voice and the dialogue, it blew my mind. Not only they chose a hideous design, but they made him a stereotypical gay guy. That's insane. Well, not even gay guy, because he says I'm your gal. So I guess he's trans. You think there's control in game industry? Like the problem is a lot of these bigger companies. Paradox Interactive is actually a big publisher. They might not have published games that you specifically have played, because they focus hugely on a niche, which are like these European strategy games, but they're actually a pretty big company. And these big companies, they start focusing way too much on ridiculous things like making money, and rather than making good games, or trying to expand their audience by abandoning their audience and focusing on the modern audience. Let me switch back to let's go full screen since I am basically wrapping this up. Camera only. Yeah, so they are going wild. Let me use this. All right. Okay, Tali needs a sound. Okay, got that. Didn't finish Super Castlevania though. Nosferatu is supposed to be ugly. It's part of the lore. Yeah. That's why I learned that they're supposed to be ugly. But it's just insane that they made this character like this. But also, I was watching a review, and there was in this review, the person he's a fan of the previous games, and he mentions that in the previous games, the Nosferatu, they are like sewer dwellers. They completely avoid the the outside because they want to avoid sunlight. But Tali, despite him being a Nosferatu, he's just hanging out outside, like it's nothing, like it's not a big deal, even though he should be in the sewers. But what I was saying with this, like this being a larger problem, is that these studios are they don't care about the audience, the actual fans of these IPs. And it's similar to what's going on with the other game that Bungie is making on Marathon. So Marathon, it's an IP. And generally, it's safer to make a follow-up to an IP than it is to make a brand new IP, because when you make a follow-up, you have an existing fan base, and it's basically you're guaranteed to get so many more customers. You'll have you're starting off with a larger audience from the get-go because you're using you're using an existing IP. But when you make something with that IP that's completely different, then you're abandoning that audience regardless as to how big or small they are. Marathon is not a hugely popular game, but it has a cult following. It has fans of the originals. When you make a brand new game called Marathon, and it's supposed to be like a reboot or whatever you want to call it, and it has nothing to do with Marathon. The only thing that's similar is science fiction, and that's like in a very loose term, just saying science fiction is the only thing that's connected. Then you're completely abandoning that audience. Why are you even making a follow-up? You're misusing the IP. And this is not like me speaking in the sense of a fan of Marathon, because I'm not a fan of Marathon. This is me speaking in the sense of like just it's a completely bad business decision. Why are you trying to use this IP in a way that isn't going to make the original fans happy? And that's something that all creatives need to keep in mind. When you are creating something for an audience, excuse me. I felt a sneeze come up. I did not want to sneeze into the microphone. Anyways, when you're creating content for an audience, yes, you can have a message for the audience, but you have to like meet halfway. You have to understand what the audience expectations are, and then you have your message, and you gotta like meet halfway somewhere. It can't be completely, oh, I'm giving them what I want. Or and it also can't be completely I got to give them what they want, because a lot of times the audience don't know what they want. For example, just a quick example. If you give a player the ability to have infinite ammo and invincibility, a lot of times they're going to go ahead and take that, even if it's like the beginning of the game. Like if you give them a code unlock from the get-go, they're going to go ahead and use it immediately. And then what that does, it's fun for like 5-10 minutes to play around and be goofy, but then the rest of the game is not fun anymore. The game is no longer fun because they took away the challenge, and then they ruined the game for themselves. That's an example of the audience not knowing what is best for them. So that's why it's important to balancing what you want to give the audience, but also understand what the audience wants and meet halfway. It can't be one or the other. That's an issue with the industry right now, is that they're not finding a balance. A lot of these bigger companies are like, okay, I'm going to misuse this IP because there's a fan base, and I'm going to make free money. No, you got to give the audience what they want. If they want an RPG from Bloodlines 2, and then you give them an action adventure game that has no RPG elements, then they're gonna complain about that. As simple as that. Let me hit the chat real quick. See if okay, heard that. Okay, got that. I guess he found some block and some social skills. Okay. So yeah, that's oh man, I think I'm reaching 2 hours now. I don't like having these be too long, because I feel like if it's 90 minutes is what I'm shooting for, because I feel like if it's too long, then people are less likely to click on it. Like if I see these 8-hour streams, I don't know how someone can click on that if they see a stream that's 8 hours. So I try to make sure it's long enough to still be appealing for people to click on it. David Bowie said the best art is that one made selfishly to the artist itself, not made for the audience. But he also didn't spread. I mean, like, David Bowie, he might be right, but I disagree with him. Here's how I view it. Art is a form of expression, and expression is a form of communication. If I'm expressing only to myself, then I'm not communicating. For me to communicate, I have to have an audience, and I have to understand that audience. So, in turn, art is a form of communication. if I completely ignore the audience, then it's no longer communication. That's how I see it. So I mean, he might be right. I mean, like, he was very successful. Who am I? Who am I? I'm this guy on YouTube with oh man, 3 stains. Woo! Why am I wearing this shirt? Well, I'm the guy on YouTube with 3 stains on his shirt. But anyways, um, that's it for this live stream. Please hit the like before you head out, and that will help boost the algorithm for this live stream. Thanks for everyone who joined, who was part of the chat. I appreciate it. I appreciate the super chats from both Mr. Pants and Wrangler. Both you guys, I appreciate the super chats, but I also appreciate just everybody who hung out in the chat. Sarah Van Balahi, Cosgrove. Who else? Let me scroll up real quick. Oh, I just saw some. Oh, there's some chats that I didn't read. Where'd it go? Oh, for some reason I didn't see the comment by Sarah Van Balahi about classic Jim Sterling. But yeah, everyone who joined, who participated, you guys make this fun. I appreciate it. Again, next week, probably going to be a different time. I will find out what my schedule will be like, I guess, this weekend. But things are changing, at least for the next couple months with this job. That's priority is to take care of my family. And but I'm still going to try to keep the channel going. Appreciate you guys. Take care. Salam. Let's end this.